start the recording. Yeah. And I will also see if I can put this live on YouTube, if that is okay. Okay, so let me, while that is happening, let me start off. Um, when we talk about open learning, first of all, just to clarify, there are a lot of terms being used. Some people use homeschooling, unschooling, uh, preschooling. There's so many terms. And actually, it doesn't matter what term you use. Finally, the whole idea is to chart out one's own journey, knowing that there are so many options, and one can keep changing options. One can use different permutation combinations of whether one is using or getting structured, less structured, uh, more child-driven, less child-driven, more uh, curriculum-based, non-curriculum-based, and so on and so forth. So it's all a very open, very interesting journey, and each child, each family will chart its own way. We started our journey with this question, that what is the purpose of education? And the question was very interesting because the answer that we were getting from around us was more on the lines of, hey, it is the purpose of education is to kind of learn, or earn to learn, and so on, which did not kind of sound so amazing to us, at least. In fact, it was sounding very constrained, and the answer to us was more to do with, hey, education and living are the same thing. So education is for living, living is for learning, learning is for living, and so on. So if they all mean the same thing, then how do we look at our lives, and how do we look at education, which is the same thing? And when we started looking around, we saw, hey, people who were doing unschooling, homeschooling, open learning, again, whatever word you use, were doing it for so many different reasons. Somebody was doing it to get away from the pressure. Somebody's doing it so that the child gets empowered. Somebody's doing it because so that I can be very dynamic, I can keep on changing, I need not be limited in my exposure. But at the core of it, what we realized was this whole idea that the child, or the learner, let's say, is the leader of self, rather than somebody else telling, hey, this is what you should be doing. And this resonated not just with our whole idea of ourselves and our children, but it also resonated with what we observed about children. I mean, they were born innate leaders, right from how we see a 1-year-old leading his or her own, how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, everything. They're like real leaders. And um, and to the extent that they're voracious leaders, in the sense, if you take their leadership, they will ensure that they get it in one way or the other. They're very, very good at it. So when we start thinking like that, we obviously realize that we don't need to bind a child with any given curriculum, because let the child or the learner decide what the learner wants to learn. And this obviously comes from the thought that, hey, all learning which is there in this world, or anything to be done in this world, is worth doing. There's no hierarchy. Who creates this hierarchy? There's no reason. And crochet is as good as filmmaking, which is as good as dancing, which is as good as, let's say, statistics, which is as good as astronomy, which is as good as, let's say, programming, or anything, or governance, politics, whatever you take. Everything is beautiful. That's at least what we realize the moment we think that, hey, let the child decide. And we also realize we don't need to really think about, hey, now that the child is interested in, we need to teach. No. The child learner is fairly not just capable, the learner is designed to think about what way that particular learner wants to learn. And since each child could be learning in a very different way, or rather doing things in a very different way, somebody would want a teacher, somebody would not want a teacher the next day, somebody would want books or YouTube, or just doing it by self and then growing from there. So it's just all a mix. So we would rather let the child decide, and how to learn, and what we can present to the child, which the child, I think, knows to some extent, is that, hey, you are the center of this universe. Go ahead. Everything is your resource, yourself, your family, friends, relative, neighborhoods, the locality, the city, world. If you really start thinking that way, the resources are unlimited. People, places, books, and with internet, literally everything is unlimited. So that's the beauty of of when the child drives his or her learning, or the learner drives. And obviously, when somebody is driving their own life, then we don't need to really look at assessment. What we need is self-reflection, which is again fairly automatic, fairly natural, and also the feedback that comes from people around us. So put together, that becomes our way to keep on an ongoing basis, do this self-reflection. And if we can do it in a rigorous way, then it also helps us develop this ability, which will obviously be used whole life, right? So invariably we realize that we can learn literally from anybody, everybody, and the whole world is full of such a variety that it becomes such a beautiful place to learn and do. Last point that I want to make is that we also realize that we don't really need to kind of do a certification or a school or a college. That's one option, that's one way, and it's a good way. There is nothing wrong with it, but there are many other ways. Yeah, and it really again boils down to an individual, how they want to lead their life. So we are not talking about only schooling years, we're talking about a whole life here, right? So open learning is very same as again open living. We might as well call it only open living, just then it sounds more adultish than related to even children. So that's why we call it open learning. And let's hear couple of Aarohi children talking about how they want to chart their own path rather than going through this typical route of school, college, degrees, certification. So just hear out this video for a minute.
Hey guys, I'm Srishti and I'm 13 years old. I'm really passionate about writing, and today I want to introduce a concept to all of you called the co-learning cohort. A co-learning cohort is a place where we all get together and deep dive into our specific interests and passions. For example, if I like writing in my cohort, me alongside with other like-minded people will explore deeply in writing. Think of it as a school or a college, except that the curriculum is designed by us, for us. That will allow you to explore deeply into your area of passion without any constraints or having boundaries set by other people. This allows you to completely immerse yourself in your area of passion. If you're truly passionate about something, you should join the co-learning cohorts to have the experience of your life.
Co-learning cohorts are a small group of people who learn together because of their shared interest or passion. We work together, pull and push each other, and we learn more about the industry we're interested in, and we grow together. That's it.
Hey guys, I'm Srishti.
Okay, so I more important than what these guys are doing, if you realize the whole sense of open learning, whether it's at a younger age or at an older age, is this whole thing about that, hey, I am responsible for myself. It's not that somebody else has to do things for me. I am responsible. Yes, I will take help, take support, network and stuff like that. But finally, it's about me being responsible for myself on a day-to-day basis, literally. And for every decision that I take, every choice that I make. Yeah. So in some ways, open learning is about this responsibility. And then the people around me, which I will call as facilitators, which could be my siblings, other friends, my parents, anybody around me, can play so many different roles in my life. So everybody becomes a facilitator, and because anybody can kind of question me. And yeah, so one more small point is that people think, oh, but won't there be a lot of challenges? Won't there be a lot of problems? And we say, yay, good news that there will be a lot of problems and challenges, because they become the curriculum. They become the very opportunity to grow ourselves, to grow our own thinking, our abilities, our emotions, our beliefs, and so on and so forth. So our growth from inside out. Yeah. Typically, a journey of an open learner in a very, kind of progression kind of a way, moves from an high exposure at a very young age, to kind of a lot of explorations into areas that interest me in the middle age, and then kind of expertise as the children grow a little older and they want to choose one or few areas where they go really deep, which is what Shrishti and Lakshita was talking in the video. And then obviously that will automatically move into the enterprise stage if they want to move to the area where they start earning out of their expertise. So that's typically the progression. Very quickly about Aarohi. Aarohi is nothing but a community of families who are doing open learning, and we basically support each other so that we all kind of grow together by making connections with each other based on our interests, by doing things together, by helping, mentoring, supporting each other, children supporting children, children supporting adults, adults supporting children, and everybody kind of supporting each other. So essentially, Aarohi is a community. It does not have a physical place. Rather, the community is based in each home that each family is. We do have a campus where I am sitting right now, and any family can come to the campus, or any family can go to another family's home, or just stay put at their home, or families can get together and travel to somewhere to explore something. So in a way, the whole world is our, let's say, learning space or classroom or living space, whatever you want to call it. And that is what is important. So campus is one part, and that invitation is there. Some of you are planning to come to the campus, so that's wonderful. And we can be here together for some time. But the idea is not to be limited by being at the campus. You can be anywhere, and we all are connected. We do things daily together, meet together. Whoever wants to meet whomever, however one wants to meet each other. Right, so that's pretty much what I wanted to quickly share as an introduction. And yeah, now the floor is open. Pranav, would you like to quickly share about the theme for today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like I think 135th or 136th meet we are having. So it's been there for last more than 2 years now. So we have just decided, to have a theme sort of a thing while we discuss about open learning. So it's not necessary that we stick to particular theme, but just invitation to probably discuss around it. So this time the theme that we have kept is curriculum. So when we say curriculum, so what is a curriculum for an open learner? Typically, as we go into say regular, traditional, or conventional schooling, there is a curriculum which is there, and which is decided by what boards or XYZ, some authority or some body. But for open learners, we believe the curriculum can be designed by themselves based on their interest, based at the pace at what they want to understand, how they want to go. Like if I want to understand my body, do I have to go from head to toe, or can I also go from toe to head? It's my choice. So do I have to, like on standard 1 I will do only head, standard 2 I will only do neck? That's how I go. Or I go the way I suddenly feel the interest about particular topic. So the curriculum is again designed and charted out by the learner himself. And I think at times too much of importance is given to the curriculum per se than the learner. So it's how the learner wants to learn. That aspect is probably at times neglected, and more focus is just put on the curriculum. So we are just kind of exploring that area, as in how do we want to as open learners, how do we see this curriculum thing as a whole, and how do we want to chart our journeys, or decide our paths of learning. So yeah, but otherwise also it's open, and we can talk anything about open learning. And yeah, and regarding Aarohi specific, if you want to have more questions, we can have it in the later part of the what to say, meetup. Yeah.
Right, so the floor is open. If you can join us on the video, then we can also make a visual connect. We can start discussing, you can start sharing, ask questions. Yeah, it's all open, basically. We don't have more than the presentation we have made. There's no more an agenda. If you want and not able to come on mic, you can also use chat, though we would like people on mic and video, but choice is yours.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Harshita. I am currently pursuing my PhD in the field of education at EFLU Hyderabad. And we came to know about Aarohi Foundation through one of the professors who works here.
Okay.
And me and my colleagues, that is my professor and another colleague who had actually spoken to Aarohi Foundation on the phone earlier, we are actually interested in learning more about open learning, and we're working on a research paper
Sure.
about
So go
open
ahead,
learning.
ask your
So
question.
we
Let's
would
get
like
discussion
to
going. Yeah.
visit.
You have to ask a question.
Yeah. So my question is, what are the materials and other resources that are used in open learning for various age groups, for various kinds of learners? That is one question. And my second question is with regards to, are there any training programs or events where parents can learn how or be trained to take on this responsibility?
Okay, would somebody like to respond to that? Those two questions.
Harshita, as Ratnesh had earlier stated in this presentation, the whole world textbooks and materials to learn. We don't have any specific thing. The whole world is there for you, and you can seek whatever you want from it.
Yeah, so Arshita, just to give you an answer, there is no specific curriculum or specific program here. The program is decided by the individual. Like if Harshita wants to know something about, say sky, Harshita will decide what she wants to read about sky, what she wants to watch about sky, whether she wants to go in the sky, how she wants to go in the sky, and who are her friends who will accompany with her on the journey to sky. So it's for Harshita to decide how she wants to go about it. So there is no definite or specific curriculum, and even say somebody like Harshita might decide, and somebody Sandhya also might want to be interested in sky, but she might have a different way of doing that exploration. So everybody is free to choose the path and the way and the manner of doing this, and there is no design. Otherwise everything is open to you, any other resource, everything available, whoever is available for your support there. So that's the thing. So there is no definitive curriculum or definitive program or training or schedule, and there is nothing like parent-child thing here. It's like everybody is learning. So it's like even I am learning, and even Sandhya is learning, even you are learning, and everybody is learning, and we are all together in this journey, supporting each other. And if somebody is interested in my interest, he is welcome to join. And if I get fascinated by somebody else learning, I would want to learn more from that person. So that's how it works.
Yeah, that is very interesting to know about. What I was thinking is some examples. So if, for example, like you said about sky, what are the kinds of things that you would try out?
So
Again, it depends.
Harshita, you have to give us an example. When you want to learn something, what do you try out? What have you last learned? And what did you meaning? Not maybe part of your PhD, but whatever else you wanted to learn. Maybe you wanted to learn guitar. Maybe you wanted to learn how to skip pebbles in a lake. Maybe you wanted to learn trekking or do trekking. Not even learn. Forget learning. What was the last thing that you did, and how did you figure out what you want to do, how you want to do? I think the answer lies in you. The answer doesn't lie in us. For you. For us, the answer lies in us. For you, the answer lies in you. And the examples also lie in you, right in your life.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it now.
I have a question.
Please go ahead, bless you.
Oh yeah. So maybe this comes out of the fact that I don't have experience with a child who's older than 6.5, because my oldest is 6.5. But so whenever I go with her directed learning, so when she says that she wants to suppose say gymnastics, and she was very interested in it for 2 months, and then she decided to quit. So my basic question here is, what length of time do you propose a curriculum that a child has set for themselves? Suppose, are you doing a year-long plan where you have like, okay, this year we are going to, based on the child's interest, this is what we are going to learn? Or do you, I mean, maybe it's age appropriate, maybe an older child can hold their attention span for a year, I guess. No?
Blessy, one small, I wouldn't say correction, but a small interjection is that you said you have a child only 6.5, not older, but you do have child older than that, as much old you are. So one child you have, right? And if you have other family members, they are all children of different ages, yeah, and they're all capable of picking up something and leaving it in 1 month. Forget 1 month, in 1 day. Isn't it? Lakshita, further, you want to answer that?
Yeah, I think so. I think there everybody has a different learning curve, and you can like try to make things as interesting as possible, but there's always a threshold at which they forget if they don't keep using what they learn in their life.
So this is why I asked this question, was because I read somewhere, and it is also my personal experience, that practice makes permanent, right? And this I say because I learned music for 5 years, and even though I didn't use it, I was pushed into learning it. But because of the rigorous or regular training for 5 years, I understand music in a certain way that it's very easy. But that was of practice. And honestly, this is a little worry that I have. But maybe I think I'm prematurely worrying about it. Maybe I can just wait for another 6-7 years for this. But I think my learning or my preparation for the next 6 years has to start now.
And
So
one more thought. Sorry, Blessy, I'm really pulling you.
Oh,
And if you keep worrying, you'll become very good at worrying.
See that?
So you are right. Whatever we keep doing, we become good at it, right? In the sense, so let's start thinking, what is it that we want to do? One is worrying, sure, we can do that. And one is see what all different things child is exploring, then we will become good at exploring, right? And that's a good enough thing to become good at. Or we may become good at doing 10 different things at a time. And I think that's also a good enough thing to become good at. Are you getting me?
I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write this down right now. If I keep, actually, you know what? If I keep worrying, that will become permanent because that's a practice. It's something that when you have put it, it just.
So let's choose, even as parents or all learners, what are we want to do? And I think children are amazing in that way. They just choose to do lots of different things because they are becoming an expert to live life. Because life offers such an abundance of beautiful choices. And they're not like worried about that I only have to do one thing in 1 day. So they are the ones whom we should learn from how to live life. At least I think so.
Yeah, hi Blessy. Priyanka here. As you are, I am also very to the system of learning, and I am also exploring more about it. But still, I would like to, participate.
Priyanka, your voice is breaking, or at least for me.
Thread or what conversation I had. How far you are going to put into? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, your voice is breaking. Maybe try offing your video. Maybe then your voice might be more clearer.
Okay. Better? I
Yeah,
hope.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was telling is that I'm also new to the system, this OpenLearning forum. But still, I would like to just add few things about what you started with, that worrying about what interest he is going to pick up and how you can put him into practice, him or her, sorry, in the practice, so that the child can get into getting an expertise or a hang of it. My recent experience I would like to share with my friends present here. We took him to my 8-year son. We took him to class with our enthusiasm, and we wanted him to just try it and tell us So it hardly one day we went up there, and within half an hour he said, I'm not interested, I don't want to do it. Okay. Then recently, for 4 or 5 sessions, we have taken classes we have taken him for dance classes. He was good enough, 4 or 5 sessions, he has done well. 6th class, he said, no, it's not me. It's not me. So what I assume is that we need to keep knocking each and every door, possible doors we can, reach up to. Until unless he finds or she finds his own area of interest, then we won't have to do anything. He will drive himself into it. The practice, what you said, that as you said, you have been into music, and that was not your choice, but you were into it, right? But that only took only 5 years into it, because that was not your choice. Given if it was your choice, I'm pretty sure today also you would have been associated with music, and you would have excelled. Understanding is different, but excellence is something that you would have got just because you were interested into it. I hope. Ratnesh, what do you think about it?
Yeah, more thoughts anybody can share. It's not about what I think. Uh, we can have more thoughts, and we can have more questions also as we go along.
I have one question.
Yes, Urmi.
So, as I understand, Aarohi, the entire network, how do you access that entire network of parents who are linked with Aarohi and know more about, whom do we want to collaborate with for a certain thing, or is this the forum where we kind of put forth the I don't know what to say, that kind of things that we want to do together and know who's belongs to that same geographical location.
Yeah, so Urmi, can we take a little more time just to discuss a little more about open learning? And maybe around in another 15-20 minutes, we will little talk more about how Aarohi works, if that is okay with you.
Sure.
Yeah, because not everybody here has come to know about Aarohi. Some of us are here more to understand open learning, unschooling, homeschooling more. And then some of us more want to know more about Aarohi. So we'll kind of take both together. So let's go back to open learning for a little while more, and then we'll jump to Aarohi.
Sure.
Yeah, so more questions on that, and we'll come back to Urmi's question.
Do you have any reading materials for parents to like in regards with curriculum? Do you have any reading materials that you can?
Sure, Blessy. There are on our website. You would find. I think there are about 4,000 blogs, which are all stories of different learners, what they are doing, what they are trying. Lots of videos, photographs, and lots of stuff out there. It will not give you a curriculum, because there isn't a curriculum, as Pranav was talking about, but it will give you the widespread of abundant choices that each child makes, each learner makes, each parent explores, and each family is enjoying, and the immense possibilities that are in front of us, or rather all around us, I should say. So please go through all the blogs, and I hope you will, will enjoy
and also,
them. Yeah, Pranav.
And also we have recordings of several other past videos of Saturday meetups where we had invited many parents, to share their journey along, like as a family, we had invited them. So that is one area where which you can put. The videos are available on YouTube. Apart from that, Ratnesh, we do Jagriti and learners are the workshops, that kind of thing that we do. So that also, helps parents. So if you want to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. So Pranav is saying that we do a program called Jagriti, which is specifically for parents. So that's another. So there are various ways in which you can interact. Yeah.
Is that online or is it in person?
Yeah, the Jagriti program is online. Yeah, and the next batch would be from January 20th.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, anybody, any more questions regarding open learning, or if you just want, like, probably we could just share. It's nothing that we could teach here, just to share our experiences.
If it's okay, I will add more to Blessie's question.
Yeah, please.
So she said, practice makes perfect and permanent, right? See, all of us practiced enough maths, enough geography, enough history. But if somebody asks us today, probably we will not remember the formula of those calculus equations and all those things. It is because that practice of what we did was not relevant to what we wanted to do at that time. Probably, this is my opinion. So when the child is interested, or let's say not interested in, let's say, gymnastics or dance or whatever activity, I think we have to give them permission and ourselves permission to leave an activity that is not serving us just for the sake of it, just because somebody else has decided that this is something you need for leading a successful life. We have to give all of ourselves permission to leave that if that is not serving us. And I think by doing that only, we model to our children that, whatever you want to do, you can do. This is not about consistency of just for the sake of finishing a program, or just for the sake that you have enrolled in for 1 year. You have to complete it if you are not interested in it anymore. We can always reevaluate if it's not working out for us. That is allowed.
Actually gets me to a more pressing question. See, firstly, I want to clarify, I didn't send her to gymnastics because I wanted her. She asked for it, and that is why we took her, which was really out of her way, but yet. But my most pressing question here would be, if they want to do something, I mean, maybe she's young, but maybe I'm talking, say, a 10-year-old or 12-year-old, and they decide to take up an activity of their own choice and of their own interest. And how much do we push them to not quit? Because quitting is also, do we regard it as, okay, I am losing interest? I'm not saying push them into, like, tortured thing because they said they want to do it. But isn't it important that if they start something, they learn how to finish it? Because as a personal experience, I never finished what I wanted to do, but I always think I should always take my projects till the end, which I'm still learning as an adult. But I mean, where do we draw the line before they call it quits, and where do we draw the line of it being I don't know, I'm not getting the right word for it, draw the line where it's right to push them to continue in their interest, or we let them, okay, it's enough, you don't want to do it, let's not take it any further.
Probably
Leslie,
best.
I just like to ask a question. Why do you think that it is good to continue rather than quitting? Why is it bad to quit?
For one thing, okay.
Also, I think my daughter Lakshita will say about quitting, or whether it's moving on with her own experience itself.
You want me to talk? Okay. So, like, I've tried out many different things. I almost never take responsibility and ownership and finish it. And like, I personally feel that, everybody has that right to quit and move on, because it's not that you're moving on. You can always come back to it. It's not like it's going to disappear if you like quit at that point. You can always come back and do it. But like, for one part of the question, which is like, how much do you push a person, it really depends on what you think, because you don't have like psychic powers to like know what's going on in somebody else's head. So if you think it's important and like it's needed, then you can push the person to do it. And like, after pushing also, you can only do so much. If the person still doesn't want to do, then they can quit. But like, it mostly depends on what you think. And And for the quitting thing, you can always come back. So it's not like a big thing. It's just something that happens. We lose interest, or like there are other factors, and so we want to do other things, but then we always might want to come back to it.
Okay, sorry, I'm kind of little interjecting or rather interfering, that I'm pausing this discussion because first, I don't think it's got anything to do with open learning. It's to do with each one's view about life, because whether you load learning this way or that way, whether you persist or whether persistence is important to you is a separate question, right? It's not per se related to our meetup today. So I'm kind of pausing that question. If you feel that no, it is more relevant to open learning, I would say, well, not really. Whether you are in school or college or not in school, college, whether you are in marriage, not in marriage, whether you are old age, this question will always be there with you, right? How much you persist, where you draw the line, how much you sustain anything that you start. So let's leave that discussion for now. More because, as I said, it's open, as Lakshita was also saying. It's really, so let's come back to more, I would say, open learning related question and see what else people would like to talk about. I hope that is okay. I mean, I'm also thinking we have had enough discussion on it. Because there's a larger group, there could be more questions. So hope that is okay, Blessing. Yeah.
I add my experience.
Yeah, are you talking about sustaining one thing that we started? And please let's pause that. I know it's a very juicy topic, but I'm seeing it. I'm literally saying it's not relevant here because it's got nothing to do with open learning. In fact, it's just going to do with life, which is fine, which is any topic we can discuss. So I would rather get the group to more talk about open learning and relevant topic to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is not about the previous topic that was discussed.
Sure. Please go ahead.
This is about the curriculum, right? I mean, like to stick to the where we began, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to explain my experience. That is, I'm 38 now, and at the age of 36, I mean, it's a childhood dream that I wanted to play a musical instrument, but we couldn't afford when I was a kid, and now I'm earning, and I'm doing good. I wanted to learn music, and I have to learn it in the best way, right? That's what everyone wants to do. What happened is, when I started learning by curriculum, right? Western classical piano music is something people generally typically start with learning the theory of how music works, and with the scales and all those things. So that's how I started, and in 3 months, you won't believe, I lost the interest of playing that instrument. So then what I did is, like, there is an interest to play the instrument, but I'm not liking the way that it is taught, right? My teacher visits my house, and then he explains me what a C scale is and D major is and all those things, and that never entered into my head. So then what I did is I don't know whether it's called open learning, because I couldn't learn it, because playing a piano is not a simple thing, even though it's very enjoyous. So I searched for the right tutor. I mean, I won't say tutor, but the right teacher to teach me. So the teacher is in Chennai. He is from the KM Conservatory. So the method that he follows is like, there is no curriculum. Basically, there is no theory or anything that he teaches. So what he does is, he makes you play the piano, and he teaches you the mechanics that you have to learn by doing to really get in touch with the piano. So that's what he taught me. So it's not out of the books, right? So that's one example I would like to quote here, that curriculum is something is an overstated thing. And I learned for 1 year, right? So I learned for 1 year, and I used to commute every weekend from Bangalore to Chennai. I used to take this Kaveri Express or the Bangalore Mail, and I used to do this. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I think that time she was like 5 or 6. So with all the support, I did that. So the thing is, like, in 1 year, I learned what typically a person learns in like say 5 years. And even today, I don't fear, going back to my piano and playing few pieces that I have really mastered. So I just wanted to explain, share this story about the
you.
curriculum. About the curriculum.
Yeah, thank you, and just to show that you liked one way of and you related to it, and maybe
Exactly.
somebody else will relate to the first kind that you experienced and you lost interest, and somebody else will learn a third way and a fourth way and a fifth way, and that is the beauty of life, and that is where we invite the learner to decide what suits him, just like you decided as a learner at 36 that this is what is kind of suiting me, so much so that you could travel every weekend. So superb. Thank you for
Yeah, but I
sharing.
could do that as an adult. I could afford, because I'm my bread and butter is not from playing piano, right? But I think the same holds good for children also.
True,
So
true.
they need not be worried about their bread and butter now, because they have the backing. Yeah, I could relate to this. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, more questions. It's a big group we have today. We're 22 of us. Oh, lovely. So please go ahead, ask questions or share your journeys.
Yeah, just a thought here. Like, I guess it's more more of like, you know, it it's more of parents' expectations on the child. It's not more of what child wants, but I guess we are so tuned in that way. Like we keep on expecting, like he should be at this level, he should do this, he should reach out. So I guess it's more of parents have to unlearn, not setting an expectations, and not setting like this is how the way the child should take, or the take, or he should do this level. I guess that's more botheration, that we keep it on our head for everything, be it curriculum, what they're learning, or whatever they, or maybe about the good. So that keeps us bothering all the time, rather than leaving it onto the child and giving it that space where they can, explore and understand and take their own time to learn and fail and again come back to it. Probably that way. That's what I feel. I guess it's time for us to learn now, unlearn all this, what we've all these years.
So I'll give you a tip. Not a tip, an idea, if you want to call it. Okay, take a room of your house, call it parent expectation room, and put all your expectations on the wall, each one of them, right? And tell the child, whenever you want to meet my expectations, come and work in this room. And the rest of the world is yours. Whenever you want to live your expectation, the rest of the world is yours. But importantly, whenever an expectation comes in your mind, my child should behave like this, my child should eat like this, my child should do like this, go and put it up in that room, and the child can choose to go in that room and see which one to meet up. So that gives the child a realization that yes, the parents' expectations are not wrong. This is absolutely fine for the parent to have expectations, but I have the rest of the world available to me to explore my expectations, my desire, my ambitions, my goals, my dreams. And I can also connect with my parents' expectations whenever I feel like. So because I can always be, because they are also important. It's not, I wouldn't say my expectations are useless. No. My expectation, the child is born to me, man, you have to live with my expectation also. Not that you have to follow them or subscribe to them, but you can choose them if you want. I hope that is in some way helpful, because to say that I will shed all my expectation is also very unrealistic, right? And not even required. I think it's wonderful that we have expectations. So per se, having expectations is not a problem. Okay. Shall we move on to Urmu's question? Would somebody like to share how does the How does the community work? I think that's what she was trying to ask. Now that we are almost at 6, who would like to share that? Oh, there are so many people here who can share. Sandhya, Lakshita, who else is there? Rachna.
Yeah, I'd like to share. We have a platform, common platform, and whoever wants to learn something or know about something, they just ask in that platform, like they convey their needs, and whomever is willing to contribute to that and have the required resources, they just share and they collaborate together. So that we have a network of connectivity through that platform. So anybody can ask, and whoever's ready, they can collaborate and do together, or have a one-on-one session, or have a group session, whatever. So we keep in touch with that. And sometimes we travel, like one person will say, I'm traveling to this place, and others might also join, and they do together some activities. And in campus also, so many things happen. So whoever is in the campus, they do it together, and others do it through the Zoom call.
Urmi, did that answer your question to some extent? If you have a follow-up questions, as in you can add it here so that we can clarify it more. Okay, I realize Urmi is not in the call, I think, anymore. Okay, we can send her the recording and she can hear that. Okay, so please ask more questions or share more thoughts about anything. It can be about Aarohi or it can be about OpenLearning. And both are pretty similar.
Hi, I'm Prachi. So you shared the resources or the people who are linked in, say, in a group in Aarohi. And these resources or the people, it's like when you share a topic, say, I want to learn, maybe my child wants to learn music. And so you would put up a request and then people get together to learn of the similar age group, or is it like someone will say, okay, I am doing music and your child can join along with me or something like that? Plus, would this be like in person or would it be online? Because where I am located, it's like I'm in Ranikhet. So it's way far from where all of y'all are right now. So would it be like if I become part of Aarohi, and would I have to travel with my child every time for certain things, or would it all be online then?
It's online and offline. It doesn't matter, Prachi. Like if you're ready to travel, you can travel to the campus and be there, or else you can do it from your home also. And also sharing the knowledge, teaching and all, it doesn't relate to age. Like we had a music session, like music club sort of thing, and they were all like I was there, and even an auntie, she was about 65, I think. Me and all were the first time learners for the Carnatic music. We all did together. So it doesn't matter, age doesn't matter. Like if you're ready to uh, teach them or learn together for the first time, then you all can do it together.
Yeah, so Prachi, you can think of it as a group of families who have all the permutations, combinations, options available to them. You can travel to somebody else's house who may be close to Ranikhet or may be far from Ranikhet. We don't know. But I'm saying the idea is not about that it is one way of working. There is no one way in which Aarohi as a community works. The community members decide, each individual decides, or each family decides how they want to interact today, and they can change that decision tomorrow and further change it day after tomorrow. So there is no one way, there is no one topic, no one method, right? So it's very, very open. It's as open as open learning. The community itself is very open. The dynamics are all open. It really depends on each individual. What is that individual thinking today? And that's what is really important.
Okay, thank you.
So there isn't anything fixed about the community. And let me also add, the reason to be in the community is, I would say, leave learning aside. I think we give too much importance to learning. In Aarohi, we don't give so much importance to learning. In fact, we have a joke here. We say, what's the spelling of Aarohi? And the spelling is not AAROHI. The joke is the spelling is DOING. So we give importance to work, to doing. So the idea is to do things. The learning will happen. But more importantly, do what you enjoy doing, do what you connect to. And in that doing, you will automatically connect with people who like doing the same thing. Yeah. So if you like doing gardening and somebody else likes doing gardening, now you can connect whichever way. You can be connected physically on Zoom, on WhatsApp, on phone, or even in just the spirit, you can be connected, knowing that that person will like to see my flower, right? Or my fruits that I have coming in my garden. So it can be any which way that we can be connected, and not just within the community. The community is one part, but the whole world is available to us to connect to, right? So we are not limited in our learning to that, okay, we have to, the resource people are only within the community. The community is immediately available, we are interacting with them on a day-to-day basis, each one of us, but the rest of the world is equally available to us, and they are in a way part of our community. So I would say all of you are part of our community, as well as all the other people in this whole world, including Mr. Isaac Newton and Einstein. They were all part of our community because they were ready to give what they learned, and we were ready to receive what they learned if we want to, right? So that it goes like that. So if we see ourselves as one world kind of a thing, then everything is available for us, for our children, for everybody. And I keep repeating this because a lot of us tend to think that, oh, resources means a specific teacher, a specific person, a specific method. Okay, but that's not really true. Each one of us can learn in so many different ways and from so many different peoples. Yeah, I'm sure by now I would have learned from at least 50,000 people, because I've read so many books, listened to so many people talk, met so many people on the way, and so on and so forth, of all ages. Who has affected me? How do I know? But I've evolved all because of all the people whom I interacted in millions of different ways. So that is the viewpoint of open learning, which is why it's called open learning. It's open to that extent. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but that's how we look at it.
So then if we are talking about a complete open learning system, then why do we need a closed group like this?
Well, first of all, it's not a closed group at all. It's right here with you, or very open. It's not a closed group at all. Yeah. Why do we need to be together is a question that you can ask. Why would you go to a friend's house You, yeah, you will go to friend's house because you're friends with them, right? And you will also go to a shopkeeper because you want to interact with him as a shopkeeper interacts with a customer and so on. So, yeah, you decide whom you connect with, how many you connect with, how much you connect with whomever. So that's really, there's no boundary to it, right?
No, so Brachi, as a community, everybody is welcome. Even you or anybody here on this call is welcome to be the part of the community. So, and it's a co-shared community. Like everybody owns the community. Everybody is responsible for the community. Everybody is accountable for the community. So it's a group of families who are together, who are in a particular journey. But my way of looking, say, or doing things could be different as to what, say, Sandhya's family's way of doing things would be. So that space is there, but at the same time we are all together in this journey. That's the whole thing. And whatever Lakshita can say, Lakshita loves filmmaking, so I know Lakshita likes filmmaking. So the more if I come across anything which is to do with filmmaking, I can instantly address it to Lakshita. Lakshita, this is what I have come across, and maybe this could be helpful to you. Or similarly, if I go out somewhere and Lakshita is helpful to me, she would be helpful to me. So it's a family. It's in a way that kind of a community where it's a family. So that is it's not that there are certain people in the community, some people out the community. Everybody is welcome to be part of the community. So you are also welcome to be the part of the community. But how the community functions, as what Ratnesh and Sandhya mentioned, we function at very different levels, at our home level, at campus level, on online level. The different ways we interact with each other, we communicate with each other, and we understand each other. That's how it works. So there are certain tools we use, like Zoom. We use something like a WhatsApp, but advanced form of WhatsApp, how we connect to each other. So there are different means of staying in touch with each other, knowing about each other. And there are many things we do together as a community. Like there could be some sort of a gathering, there could be a radio show, there could be a short film festival, there could be anything. There could be some learning mela, there could be many things happening. And it is not child specific, it is like for everybody. Even I am learning, so I might have learned a lot of things being a part of this community, or I would have received a lot of things being a part of this community, or I could have offered something to this community. So it's not a closed sort of a community. Everybody is welcome to receive and share.
Also, I think it comes down to like-minded people. Like, if you're on this group, you're here because of a reason, because you're looking for it. But somebody who's not looking for it obviously will not be able to, will not be part here, right? So it's definitely open because we are here, right? Because we came looking and we are searching. So I'm pretty sure there are other forums also. If you look, we'll find them as well.
Yeah, sure.
One question, do you all have regular meetups at Aarohi, or like, because I see like a lot of you all are from different places, currently in different place. Is it different meeting in person and in online connect?
So I'll just try and give a brief overview. I do the best because many have already tried to answer this. But so what happens here, like everybody in the community, say if I have a particular interest, or say my daughter has a particular interest, or somebody is interested in electronics, somebody is interested in writing, somebody is interested in crochet, somebody is interested in, say, programming. So everybody would share, or would say, okay, I'm interested in this. Would anybody want to accompany me with me in this journey? So the people who are really wanting to do it together can come together. They form a club. There's a club which is formed through online medium, and those people, it's like people who come together for that club, and they take ownership of that learning part. So Aarohi facilitates that whole system, and those people come together, they learn whatever they have to learn, how they have to learn, and that's how it works. So, and one person could be part of many clubs, could be part of many different projects, or different projects also happening. So we are constantly interacting through other, as I said, something like WhatsApp. We are constantly in touch through that as well. And we have a dedicated Zoom channel through which whatever meetups that we have to do, like physical, or say we have to talk, that meetups happen. This I'm talking about online part. So since you are saying Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore and various different places. Say there are people from Surat, there are people from say even North Delhi and all. So, so that's how we come together. And apart from that, the campus is always there. So at campus, when you are there, it's a different experience of campus. I hope this was helpful.
Yes, that's kind of what I meant, like the campus versus online.
So it is not versus, it's all works together. So everything is works.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Like during the online meetings, like Pranav said, during the club camp, people in the campus will be interested and they too will join there. Like whenever we are able to go to the campus, we may go and stay for a week and all, 1 week or 2 weeks. It happens both ways.
And
Rachna,
always there are families who travel. Sorry, Ratnesh, I'll just finish this
No, I
point.
was just
Also
inviting
the
Rachna after you. Yeah.
okay. And we also travel. So as families, as I said, there are families in Bangalore. I'm in Mumbai. So somebody from Bangalore, if visiting towards this side, so we will be the host. So I going to say Surat. There'll be some family in Surat who will be the host. It is not a mandatory. It's not a part of like registration form. Ka aapko aisa karna hi hai. It's just that happens invariably. So people visit each other, travel, meet, exchange. So that also happens at a very limited scale. So something like a campus and a small campus at our home as well. So my home is also campus, Aarohi campus in a way. Yeah, sorry, Rachna, please.
So when we are online, as Sandhya said, so when we are at the campus, we do participate a lot in the clubs that are happening. Or at times at the campus, we have different set of projects running. So we try to do more of those. Like I'm more interested in the gardening side. I would like to have a more exposure on the farming side. So the campus attracts me more towards that. That's how we do. And also we have a gardening club. So they also encourage us to do so many different things. So the exposures and explorations are different. And that is very kind of motivating when we are at the campus as well as online. Not much of a difference with campus or online.
So I think Priya is asking, how does one be part of the community? So Priya, I think you have been to one of our campus meetups and now you are here in the meetup. This is primarily the kind of things that you do to be part of the community, as in you understand what Aarohi is and what open learning is. And whenever you think you are ready, as in you have interacted enough and you say, yes, I would like to be part of this community, that's when you join the community. It's as simple as that. There is no procedure. It's more for you to familiarize yourself and be and see how much you are in sync with the overall concept of open learning, as well as the way Aarohi. So if you have questions, you keep asking them, and you need not ask questions only here. You want to talk to somebody, one parent, one-to-one, you want to meet somebody in, let's say, I don't know which city, I think you are in Bangalore. So if you want to meet somebody in Bangalore, we can give you contacts, you can go and meet them. So as in when you say, I am ready to join the community, I have met enough people, I have, I'm there, I now open your doors, or rather, not even open your doors, the doors are open, tell me the address, I'm going to come in, you are in, that's it. It's just like that. We will help you through a walkthrough. There's somebody who will take you through how the community exactly works in terms of logistics and all. And there will be a small kind of a form for you to fill in, and that's it. You are part of the roller coaster. Yeah, I hope the last word made any sense.
Thanks, Ratnesh. It made sense.
So it isn't there isn't a procedure per se. No. It's more of connecting, and that's why you are in the right place today.
Sure.
Okay, we have about 10 more minutes, so we can take a few more questions. We end the session at 6:30 every Saturday. So if you have a few more questions, we can take that. Anything related to open learning, Aarohi, anything. want to know the past, the present, the future, anything that would come into your mind.
Okay, this will come off as again, I have done zero research. How long ago did you start Aarohi and how many community members are there now?
We started Aarohi in 2008.
Community.
Okay. Yeah. And the number of members keep changing. It's an open community. People can join in, people can leave in. Roughly, there would be somewhere around 35 to 40 families which are active right now. We call them as active families. There could be families who were part of community, have moved away because of whatever reasons, geographical, whatever. And people connect back and so on. So that's how it works. But it's all very, let's put it, very informal, and it's more of a connect at a human level than any other formal connection.
Yeah, anything more? Yeah, Blessed, there's also a website there, Aarohi Life. You can also check that website. There are lots of data available there as well, and many things about open learning, about how the families have been working on this. So even on FB we are there, YouTube we are there. So there are many such sources from where you can know more about Aarohi if you have to. And yeah, and any more questions if anybody has.
I'm surprised, Pranav, today nobody's talking about future. What will happen? I was kind of thinking, okay, everybody's in the present. Wow. This is so nice. No worries of future. Let future come whenever its time comes.
Akanksha, any sorry, who's somebody was saying, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm
Akanksha,
talking
would
about
you have
today.
any question or thought?
Yeah, Kansha.
No, nothing from my side.
Nothing? Okay, I thought you wanted to share something. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Blessy, go on.
So I know this isn't related to the topic that you had decided to discuss today, but have you ever faced any difficulties with your children, Ratnesh, because they're older and they don't have any certification? Have you have they ever faced any kind of difficulties so far?
No, they face difficulties all the time in their life. And I bless everybody should face difficulties in life. What is life without difficulties, right? They will be boring. It will be no worth living if we had no challenges. But specific to your question, do they face difficulties because they have not gone through certification? Well, not really. No, they haven't. Okay. Not because of that, but they face difficulties of other kinds. And that's the blessing I give to everybody. May you have more difficulties in life.
Because there are opportunities.
Absolutely. That's the curriculum. Yeah, but nothing specific to, if that was your question, which is an important question. Yeah, no, nothing because of that. It's just a construct in our mind. Oh, without that, life would be very difficult. Not at all. Absolutely no difficulty. Even if you want to, whatever. So let me give you an example, right? This is a story I narrate that me and my son decided that we want to do deep sea diving, as in we want to do scuba diving, and we want to do a course. We want to become certified divers. At that time, he was, now he's 18, he must have been 14 or maybe 13. I'm not remembering, somewhere around 13, 14. So we went for a course, and the course required us to learn. We reached there, and there they had some videos and all that, and some reading material. For us to completely understand the physics part of the diving, because that's very, very important for your safety, to understand pressure, density, currents, movement, how the body functions, the whole physics part of it, right? A lot of physics, a little bit of biology, a little bit of geography, but mostly physics. And my son obviously has never gone to school, so he has no idea what is physics as a subject. He's never studied science or maths for that matter. Yeah, as a subject, never. So, well, we studied, and before you take your first official dive, so there are practice dives that you can take, but before you take the first official dive, they give an examination of 50 marks with 50 questions. Okay. And guess how much he scored? Okay. So he has never studied science, never studied mathematics as a formal subject. He's exposed to this diving and all the physics, density, pressure, questions which I even had to, oh my goodness, what was this concept, So it was not like I was also giving the same test and he was also giving the same test. And we pretty much scored the same. And he got about 46 out of 50. I'm not trying to say he's brilliant or anything. I'm just saying it just made so much sense to him because he was there. He wanted to do diving. He wanted to understand every little detail about it because he's going to jump into the sea, right? So everything was obviously going into his head, right? And he was absorbing it like nobody's business. Right? So it did not require any pre-preparation of physics or maths or anything like that. It just required him to be 100% there, which he was. Yeah, and compare him to me, who had so much of physics right from school to college and blah blah blah, right? And how much I got? He got 46, I got 47. So I said, "Yeah, I beat you with 1 marks, but with what?" So I'm saying, we think that okay, a certain way has to be, but as our friend was also sharing about in his piano journey, sometimes it isn't about a particular classical approach, or it's not about a particular way, but it's about what you want to learn at what point of time. And when you want to learn it, when you want to soak into it, when you want to do it, everything just becomes a part of you, I will say. And that is the beauty of open learning and open learners. So it's not about a particular thing, or it's not about a particular way, but it's about me. I'm at the core of it. Okay, so I kind of filled in that time with a little little story, because a lot of people worry about this, how will I learn science and how will I learn, especially, I don't know why with science and maths, but anyway, I'm not getting into why people worry about that. What I would like to do is we also have kind of a little poll kind of a thing. We're trying this for the first time. So just to kind of gather what help, support we need. So we are trying this out. So just be a little patient. I will launch the poll. It just talks about where you would like to connect with us, or where would you like us to send you the updates, about what. So please go ahead and answer that poll. It does ask you to share your phone number so that we can send you that update or information using WhatsApp. So please share a WhatsApp number. If you do not have a WhatsApp number, you can just write there itself that, no, I don't have a WhatsApp number. And we'll try to get in touch with you through an email or something. And obviously, you are always welcome to get in touch with us directly. So, yeah. And you can choose multiple choices if you need multiple, or you can just choose one. If you do not want to participate in this, feel free to skip it. It's not like it's mandatory. And yeah, we can also say bye-bye now. So as you kind of put in the poll, you can also kind of say bye-bye, and we are there every Saturday. As Pranav was saying, there are recordings of all the previous meetups, more than 100 recordings on YouTube. Okay, somebody's saying you did not receive the poll. Well, if you did not receive the poll, chances are your Zoom app, that is whichever device you're using, is of an older version. So you would need to update it, and obviously then in the next meeting you will get that. Because some of the people are receiving their 8 people have already participated, which means the poll is working. But typically you require the latest Zoom version. So just update the app, please. Right. So thank you very much. And thank you for responding to the poll also. And as you take the poll, we can sign out and see you sometime in campus, in person, or in the meetups, however you want to connect with us, over phone, however, whichever way. We are always there with you. You don't have to be part of the community. In that sense, you are already part of the community. In